Hey, what's going on? It's Adam here, and welcome to the Smart Business Show. I'm your host, Adam Flores, and today we are in episode number 3, which is personal brand profits. We're actually in our LA studio today here in the Fashion District, and so normally we're in our Orange County location where it's perfectly silent and quiet, so you may actually hear sirens go by from fire trucks, police cars, or maybe crazy things happening where people bang on the windows. You never know here in downtown LA. A lot of crazy things happen, but I'm excited to be able to have you on today's show. You know, you're here because you're an entrepreneur who wants to be able to build a smart business. You have a lot of questions that you want answered, and it's around growing your business to the next level. You don't want to keep doing things that lead to nowhere. You don't want to stay stuck. You don't want to have to worry about, you know, am I utilizing the right strategy or am I not? This is a place to be able to come and get some awesome knowledge, great ideas to be able to implement so that you could take your business, your mindset to the next level to be able to build a smart business. So I'm excited for you, and I want to welcome you if you're a first-time listener, because today we're going to be going over personal brand profits. So why do you even need a personal brand? A lot of people are talking about personal branding. I actually run a branding company called the Dream Factory Co. And the reason I actually started it is because of my own failure building my own personal brand. I literally went through the hardest time. I went to a designer, and then the work would come back, and then it didn't look good. And then I'd go to the videographer, and then the video it didn't match the quality of the photography. And then trying to get them all to communicate, it was a mess. I spent 6 months trying to build out my personal brand, and it still wasn't the way that I wanted it to be. So I ended up coming across some really great talent eventually, and I had the idea of bringing all that talent together to be able to offer the service for our community. And so from that, we basically created the one-stop shop, and people loved it. And so we began building their brands, and this was over 5 years ago. And now we have a full stack branding agency where we help people from all around the world. They fly into our studios, actually here in LA, and we build out their entire brands online. And so with that said, I'm a huge fan of personal branding. I mean, this is what we do. This is a big part of our work. And so I get a lot of questions around this area, and hopefully I can help answer for you if you already have a personal brand or if you're thinking about building a personal brand. Okay, so the first thing is, what should you really be investing to build your personal brand? A lot of times people, they will go to places like Fiverr or Odesk, or a lot of these do-it-yourself sites like Wix and Squarespace. And if that's all you have, start with what you have, yes. But if you're at a place where you're really ready to level up your game, here's what I recommend to you. I recommend going in and really investing in building a quality and world-class brand. I want you to think about your brand as the runway for you to be able to take off and grow in your influence, your recognition, to be able to grow your opportunities and influence. It is the runway to be able to really be successful faster, but also have more sustainability, and you're gonna see why in just a minute, why a personal brand is so important. So I recommend investing to do it right. Here's why: because there's a lot of moving pieces in your brand. One is the messaging, and this is where you want to be able to work with a copywriter. So in messaging, we're working with, okay, am I really communicating a clear message that is going to intrigue my audience to want to learn more about what it is that I do? Is it really effectively telling my story, communicating my personality? Is my voice coming across authentically? Does it feel in alignment with who I am and what I'm representing? That messaging is so key, because you want it to be able to be clear, because nobody wants to come to a brand where they don't understand what's going on, right? It's confusing. There's too much on the page. The message is unclear. There's, there's inner conflicts on the actual site. You're like, hey, what is this guy saying, or what is the girl saying? Like, you want it to be clear, concise. So copywriting is a key piece. So that's one aspect you want to be able to have in your branding process, is a copywriter to help you with the messaging. 2, you want to be able to have a great designer. The design is so key because it creates the aesthetic value. And aesthetic is basically the way that something looks, the experience from the image. So aesthetics are influence, right? So when you come and you land on a really beautiful site that really impacts you, you're like, wow, this is really nice. Then that creates an experience. And subliminally or subconsciously, the viewer is like, wow, this person's quality, this person's a pro, this person's an expert. That visual aesthetic helps with your positioning as the credible expert. So that's key. So you want to work with a great designer. The third thing is you want to be able to work with a great web developer. Why? Because you don't want just a templated cookie cutter site. You want to be able to have an interactive site, right? So that's why if you head over to thedreamfactoryco.com and you hover over our process of the positioning, packaging, promoting, you'll see that's interactive, right? Our developer was able to create that to create an interactive experience within the site, right? Also web security. You want to be able to have great web security and updates and plugins so your sites don't crash. So making sure that your integrations are plugged in correctly and the contact forms are connected. So when you generate leads, you're getting the emails and everything's firing correctly. So having a great web developer is key. So, and then also photographer. You want to be able to have professional photography and professional videography so that they're really capturing you and really letting your personality shine through. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to just have photography from your phone or stock photos that people don't connect with. People want to connect with people. And that is why building your personal brand is so key, is because of that connection piece. Even if you already have a company, even if you work inside of a company, you want to be able to have your personal brand because people want to connect with people more than they want to connect directly with a company. Okay, so with that said, so you want to be able to invest in quality, right? So that's a whole team of 5 people that I just named there, from the copywriter to the designer to the developer to photography to videography. And that doesn't include anything else like advertising or social media or anything like that. That's just the site alone. So if you think about that handcrafted brand, that's going to cost you thousands of dollars, minimum $5,000. And then if you have sales pages and programs and events and retreats and all the other things that you need to add in your brand, it can cost you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to build out a brand properly. But once it's built, there it is. That's your runway to be able to open up opportunities. So the question is, we're talking about personal brand profits. What do you actually make having a personal brand? This is a key question. Well, think about the opportunities. If you are able to, let's say you have a great message and someone refers you, but you don't have a personal brand, what are the chances that that event host is going to want to have you as a speaker at their upcoming event? When they say, hey, John Doe is going to be there, and they go, great, who's John Doe? They look him up on Google and he's nowhere to be found. Well, that doesn't really make the event host look really special, or it doesn't make the event valuable because no one knows who John Doe is. But if you have a world-class brand, they go, yeah, John Doe's going to be at the event. They go to johndoe.com and they're reading about John Doe's story and all of his client testimonials and all the things he's been able to accomplish. Now, that's a big deal, right? John Doe's coming to the rock the stage and people are excited. So that opens up opportunities for speaking engagements. It opens up opportunities even for partnerships. Because if you think about it, if a partner is going to be able to utilize what we call their social equity. Their social equity is their goodwill within their community to be able to ask for some type of offer or be able to, provide value to that community. They don't want to risk their social equity by promoting somebody who may not be credible because it makes them look bad. For example, if Susie wants to tell her friend Lisa about you, but then she tells Lisa about you and then Lisa looks you up and the brand is like really weak, it's not credible, it actually makes Susie look bad because then she's promoting somebody who doesn't even have it together, right? But if you have it together, then Susie's like, yeah, you got to talk to this person because they are doing a great job. So then Lisa looks you up because of the referral and bam, she's like, wow, this is a great team. Thank you for the referral, Susie. It looks awesome. So that's all part of positioning, right? So positioning allows you to be able to have your referral partners be able to share openly with their shoulders back and promote you confidently, knowing that they're going to be leading people to a good experience and you're backed up with credibility and case studies and things that really show that you are the expert at what you do. And that's what we've noticed here with even our Dream Factory. Dream Factory is a part of my personal brand. By the way, your company brand goes underneath your personal brand. If you want to know about this, people should I have a company brand or personal brand? Ideally both, but your company will go underneath your personal brand if you want clarity on that. So our Dream Factory brand has those case studies. It has a portfolio. It showcases video, testimonials, and the stories and what we provide in our process. So it's very clearly laid out. And so because of that, we have over 100 referral partners called our agency partnership program, where they refer people to our agency. Now, that's really powerful. Now, what would make somebody so confident to promote? It's the fact that they feel good about what they're bringing people to because the brand is there. It's an established brand, right? So that's huge. Being able to have something, even internally, our internal team is excited to represent the company they work with, right? Yeah, we work with the Dream Factory. Check out our CEO. Check out adamimouthflores.com. And they could show and be confident to see like, wow, this is a legitimate company. So for positioning credibility, this is huge, especially if you want to go into attracting higher level clients. Think about this for a second. Maybe you're charging $3,000 for your services right now. Let's say you're a consultant or a coach. and you want to be able to charge 10K. Well, now you have these case studies on your brand. People are able to look you up and they're like, wow, this person's amazing. You just tripled your income because of the positioning that you're able to have by leveraging tools. Because what's the one question that people always want to know? They always want to know, well, can you send me information? I want to be able to look you up. We're in a place where people are smart. They want to do research. There's a lot of options out there. So you're the one that be able to come and say, absolutely. And so when was the last time that you had confidence really promoting your materials where it's like, yes, this is my site, and you're excited to send it? Like, I can't wait to send my site. I love when people ask me, can you send me more information? I love it when they ask me, hey, can you send, can you be able to show me some examples? I'm like, yes. But there was a time where I absolutely dreaded that question because the brand wasn't in place. And then they said, do you have examples? Do you have a site? And I was like, yes. Then I had to go in and explain myself. Well, it's not where we want it to be, but it's going to be rebranded soon. So just, forgive the messiness on the page, forget the blurry photos. Like, that's not who we are. We really do great work. Don't worry. So we always had to justify how our work was not really that great. And maybe you've been there where your brand is like not looking nice, and then you're like, wow, like this is not really the best experience, so please don't judge me for it. Or I don't have a brand yet. And then they're like, okay, great. So how do you expect me to give you 10 grand for this service when you have no proof of anything that you've been creating? So you end up having to explain yourself over and over and over again from scratch. And what a brand does is it actually gives you the influence when you're not there. It allows somebody to be able to learn more about you and in a way that it kind of shapes their perspective, right? And that's what branding allows us to do. It really allows us to create the frame in which people see us, because people are instantly making decisions on whether we're credible, whether we can help them get results, whether we're the real deal. And if the brand isn't there, then they're making that decision on their own, and you have no say in it. You have no influence in it. And oftentimes it doesn't go in your favor if you're not the one that is controlling that frame. And that's the beautiful thing about branding, right? So that's one element is your actual site, your actual brand. It opens up economic opportunities for speaking, higher paying clients, greater partnership opportunities, greater recognition. It allows people to promote you with confidence and not be, it allows people to open up their social equity to you, to be able to say, hey, go check out that team, go check out that partner. They're doing great. Look at the work they're doing, right? It helps you with your conversions when people want to think about it or do research. It helps you with conversions. So if you really add it up, and when we're talking about over the long haul, I mean, maybe up front, maybe tens of thousands of dollars in the early stages of your business in additional revenue, and then in the long game, we're talking about potentially millions of dollars in additional revenue by building out a personal brand, doing it effectively. Now, when I say personal brand, everyone always thinks website. There's other elements of the personal brand as well. We have our social media side of it, right? The social media is key because people also are looking up your pages. So how is your brand on social? I was actually listening to someone the other day, and they said, actually, we're having a conversation. They said, Adam, I can tell how healthy your business is because of your social media. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, how healthy your business is? It was, so your business is very healthy because all of your social media is like world class, like your branding, everything is like done with excellence. And that lets me know your business is healthy, because if it wasn't healthy, like everything would just be shot with like low quality, like cell phone, self-built sites. Like I could tell that you're piecing things together. But I could tell you're established because of the content history. I could tell because of your socials pages. Everything's congruent, it's streamlined, same like messaging, same fonts across everything. Like it's world class. I was like, wow, that's awesome, thank you. So that client ended up, that person becoming a client for over $30,000. And amazing, right? Like it's a big transaction, but the trust is there, right? The trust is there because of the congruent, seamless, streamlined brand. And so that's, I can't emphasize this enough, is like you got to be able to have that in place, and it's going to cost. It's a bullet to bite up front. It's going to cost you thousands of dollars to build, but you want to be able to build it right, and that's going to help you in the long game. Okay, so social elements, a part of your brand. Messaging is a part of your brand. This is a big thing here I get is, Adam, what if I don't know my message yet? Well, just start by clearly articulating what result you can bring, right? Start with that as your headline, as your bold promise, as your opening message on your banner, right? Then maybe share a little bit about your story, about where you came from and your journey and the struggles you went through and the expertise that you now have developed, right? If you have any case studies, showcase your case studies. That's huge, right? Personal examples, things you've been able to do. Create value, share teachings, trainings, right? Like this podcast episode is also going to go in video form, and it's going to be uploaded onto my blog for you to be able to see and take a look at. So, all those things make a big difference. And so I want you to be able to think about that when you're adding value through your brand as well. So you have voice like podcasting, you have content through Instagram, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, you have your blogs, you have your vlogs, right? And so the goal is to not be a superhuman where you're doing everything at one time. Like literally make one piece of content, cut it up, and let one person that you can outsource it to distribute it across all the different platforms so you can have leverage, right? So you are able to do things the smart way. In fact, I was adding it up the other day, and I was personally investing over 70 hours a week into my brand, and I was doing the math as far as like what we make from, like just our social media alone. And I was like, let me outsource the distribution piece so that I can focus on being able to make more content and develop power relationships and get interviews with people that are going to help expose the brand to a new level versus just continue to, spend my time uploading on Instagram, Facebook. As a CEO, that's not a good use of my time. So you start to be able to leverage your personal brand, and that's how you can begin working to scale it. Because we're in a place where people haven't really figured out how to scale a personal brand. They're the answer for their leads. They're the answer for their sales. They're the answer for the fulfillment. And I want to let you know, you can actually scale your personal brand. That's actually what I really teach in my higher level masterminds is like, you can take your personal brand and scale it because you have membership sites, you have courses, you have masterminds, you have events, you have retreats. Like all of these things are happening, and you don't have to be there for everything. You can actually teach people your processes and allow them to teach on your behalf. And that's the big misconception, that if you're the personal brand, that you're going to be so busy doing everything all the time because everything's revolved around you. You can build it that way, but you can also have a team that helps you, right? That helps you get your message out there. So these are some questions around personal branding I think are things for you to think about. Does your brand truly reflect your voice? Does it truly reflect your message and what you stand for? Is your current brand right now in place the quality that they feel represents you and the service you're bringing? Does your current brand right now, has it been opening up opportunities for you to maybe get speaking engagements or get higher paying clients? And if not, why? What can you do to be able to change that and shift that, right? Are you investing in your brand, or are you just doing the bare minimum right now, to just get something up, right? How's your social media? Are you making a quality brand around that? How's your podcasting? How's your consistency to be able to create that experience for your audience? Right? All of these things affect your brand, and I want you to be able to elevate, take it to the next level. Because if you're going to build a smart business where you have maximum leverage, your brand is a great point of leverage to increase your influence, your recognition, your income. And so I want you to be able to be positioned in the world to go out and win in a big way, utilizing your brand for major profits. So if you got some value from today's episode, I want you to go ahead and hit the star button. You can give it a 7-star rating. I know there's only like 5 stars, but just for the extra love, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and comment below if you're on any other platforms. And I just really appreciate you chiming in on the episode. Hopefully it helped clear up a lot of things for you as far as where you're at, maybe even brought awareness to the fact that you need to take your brand to the next level. And if so, you can head over to thedreamfactoryco.com and schedule a free demo where we can show you what's possible with your brand to take it to the next level, to increase profitability, visibility, and get you higher and greater recognition with what it is that you do. Because I believe that if you're watching this, you're an entrepreneur with a big mission to go out and do something great, and we would love and be honored to be a part of that journey with you. So thanks so much for watching the Smart Business Show. Signing off, your host, Adam Flores. Have a great rest of your day.